people, so I'm expecting everyone to show up.
All right.
I made some stamps so I can paint quickly, and I'm trying that DM Scotty crafting method for his modular walls. So I've got a bunch of the 12-inch pieces. I've done a bunch of 6-inch pieces. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
AJ.
What's up,
Gentlemen,
guys?
Hey AJ. Hey David.
How's it
how's it going,
going? I
man?
was just listening to some glue stick just now.
Oh, were you? I'm also recording on the side here what I'm crafting at the exact same time.
Cool.
Yeah, so I made
You
these
made it.
right here.
Ah,
Yeah, so I can quick stamp, and I did the wall thing. So I can do that. I've got a few 12-inch pieces.
I already feel unqualified for this hangout.
Oh, it's okay, man. All these so I can slap them down. I don't know what I'm gonna do for a mat. I think what I'll do is I have these big pieces of cardboard like this, so I'll just turn this into a mat and just stamp all over it. So I've got quick grids.
is that like a single ply packing cardboard?
Yeah, it's crappy cardboard. I've used it for other things already, so.
I'll do the work.
Yeah, as long as it works, I don't care. I have to hurry up and craft for tomorrow's game and then next week's game. And I don't have a lot of time, before my game tomorrow or next week to actually do anything that's going to take a while. So I'm just
Are
trying
you
to
gonna
get
be?
it out as quick as possible.
Are
Have
you
you
gonna be
ever?
painting? Sorry.
Go ahead, AJ. Go ahead. Your expertise
gonna
is
be-
going to be much more valuable than mine.
If you're gonna be painting on that stuff, make sure you use a pretty dry sponging technique because that single ply stuff will warp quite a lot if you paint on it.
Yeah, I know. I have done crafting stuff before. I have a bunch of stuff in the basement, but yeah. No,
Or you could just print off black and white paper texture and put that on there.
could do that. That's a good idea. I
I,
should.
I was merely just going to suggest sweatshops.
Well, I'm sweating.
There's little kids in China. They got really small, nimble fingers.
That's true. Here's basic sort of stone texture that I use as a paper laydown thing.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
What do you do for caverns?
For Kevin's, I have a an actual painted board that I put down, so it's very much like the 2.5D Next method.
What do you do
ex-
for the texture? Do you have a? Can you show me?
I've actually just where is it? Okay, I'll go and fish it out.
I don't even know if we're gonna have time tomorrow to actually play if we end up converting the characters over.
Have you
Oh yeah, I
talked to
ran my
people
first
about
one.
that?
Yeah, I posted because I have a Facebook group that I did for it, a secret group, and I posted it, and there's only two people I haven't heard from. One of them, his fiance has already responded and said she was fine with it. The other one won't be here tomorrow, and he didn't own Pathfinder anyway. So I don't really care that much, but I don't really know. So basically, if everybody except for the one guy doesn't say anything, we're switching over.
Ah, the hot glue gun. So many fond memories of middle school and craft.
That crap hurts, man. I keep burning myself.
Well, I don't think you're supposed to put it on you. But I'm not really a crafter, so it's just a theory.
Yeah. Need to change dice. You're fumbling your rolls.
Yeah. Natural ones. No. I'm not doing too bad tonight. Normally I get frustrated with this within about 30 minutes. Tonight I've made it about 2 hours already, so I'm okay.
Good one. It is pretty relaxing, really, once you get into it. You're probably a bit more chilled out. That's why you're doing well.
Yeah, the painting usually is really relaxing for me. I like the painting part. It's trying to assemble what I want and expect it to turn out a certain way. That's the part that sucks.
Yeah. See, this is why I don't like painting because it warps the cardboard like that. See.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not big, but it's there. So
I'm
this
gonna
is just
double-
a.
Right. I plan on doing double-sided, so I'm going to do stone on one side and then cavern for the other side. So hopefully that will prevent the warping a little bit. But yeah, let me keep that up real quick. Oh, okay.
But
So
as you can see,
black and gray.
yeah. So as you can see, the printed texture is just as good.
Yeah, yeah.
So the printed texture, is that like what do you use, like a wallpaper or something?
That is literally just an image of rock that I found on the internet. It's a repeated pattern, so that's about the same pattern is repeated about 30 times across the page there. Although it's really hard to tell because it's so random.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I just put it together with Paint, Microsoft Paint, and then print it out. But you can find all sorts of stuff. No, it's gone blank on your end, Juice.
Yeah, I think my computer's overheating. Let's see if that works.
Got some pretty cool stuff there. This was made by DM Scotty as part of a dungeon set that I won. That was kind of how I got involved with DM Scotty in the first place, was through talking about what I wanted him to build for me because I won his competition, and then we just sort of got to chatting about stuff, and the next thing you know, I'm on the Crafters Tavern and moderating a web forum. Yeah, and then I just lay down modular sections like that. It's a bit hard to see with the... And what was the other? I think I've showed you guys the stuff before anyway. And then I made mushroom columns and stuff like that.
I watched you do your crystals out of the glue sticks.
Right.
Which is pretty cool.
So cheap too. Anyway, I'm not really here to talk about crafting today.
I don't know what we are here to talk about because Juice left.
Oh! I was itching to talk to Juice about making character creation videos for the Palladium system. But that's probably not of much interest to you guys either.
Nah, actually, I'm interested in all kinds of different role-playing stuff.
Alright. Yeah.
I may not know that much about that system in particular, but yeah.
It was like, you know how you always have one place on the internet where you just sort of go and hang out for chatting and like web forums and stuff like that. Well, the Palladium web forums was where Juice and I sort of chatted. He was on a periphery. I was mainly concentrating on Heroes Unlimited, the superheroes one, and Juice was more on Palladium Fantasy and I think just the GM's Game Master side of it.
You prefer super games?
I do, because I started off with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, then Heroes, then Ninjas and Super Spies sort of got added to that, and then the superheroes thing sort of came after that, and then after all of that came Rifts.
My first game that wasn't D&D, which is still TSR, was the Marvel superheroes, but that was the old Phase Rip system.
I'd really like to have a look at that. Dungeon Master Johnny would probably join us in a game of that in a heartbeat because he's really enamored of that system.
Yeah,
too.
you can get most of that on. You can dig it up mostly online because I don't think you can actually buy it anywhere because it's so long ago.
I'd be keen to give it a go.
When I first started my first game of Palladium, I was I was put off a little bit by the contrasting characters, the power levels, and so I started looking around, and I even considered pulling that out and running a game of that, and that's when I found M&M, and the third edition of M&M I really loved because you can tell that the designer from that really took a lot of his inspiration from that Marvel system, which I loved, but like if you look at it now, it's just really outdated as far as the mechanics and stuff.
Yeah.
But it'll always have like a special place in my heart.
I've got the Mutants and Masterminds books, and I like it and don't like it at the same time. It's kind of strange. I'm not quite. I have trouble putting my finger on what I don't really like about the system.
The combat is isn't as satisfying because you don't do damage like in a regular game. I've had players have a problem with that, but the funny thing is, in some ways, it's actually like more brutal than other systems with a bad roll, and when you take damage, like you actually can take a lot less damage than you can, but it gets doled out like a point at a time. So that part can be a little bit tricky. I think it puts more ionus on the DM to make it more interesting.
Yeah, so you really have to narrate and be story driven with that game because the system is very flexible, very very flexible.
What edition do you have?
That's the Mutants and Masterminds.
There's only 3. The most recent one was DC. Hey Robert, what's going on, buddy?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey. Good.
I got invited by Juice, but he's not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he had difficulties and he took off his computer's overheating. I think it's the 2nd edition of Mutants and Masterminds that I got before they went to DC.
That's what I started with, and then 3rd edition they really cleaned it up.
Oh, okay.
They did away with more of the D&D isms. So it's still D20, but they moved further away from the D&D type stuff. But you were saying about play.